This is the plaintiff, Yvonne Gregory. She says she was getting ready to leave her apartment one night when all of a sudden she felt water dripping on her head. Her ceiling then collapsed right in front of the firemen she called, and all her belongings were ruined. She's suing the defendant for $930.96 because she caused the flood by overflowing her toilet, and since she won't pay up, here they are. This is the defendant, Karen Williams. She says she lives in an apartment complex with 30 other families, and their water system's all interconnected. Just the other day, the water from her neighbor's apartment was coming up the drain in her shower. No one knows what caused the plaintiff's apartment to flood, but one thing's for sure, it wasn't anything she did wrong. She's accused of springing a leak.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant had a leak in her ceiling that was so bad, the ceiling collapsed and caused an unbelievable mess. Blames it on the defendant's toilet. But the defendant says there are 30 people in the building, so the culprit is a mystery. It's the case of Mrs. Untidy Bowl.
Douglas, all right. Yvonne Gregory?
Yes.
You are suing Eric and Karen Williams. Karen here will be representing?
Yes.
For $930.96, the cost of your mattress and box spring and the cost of paint in a bedroom.
Yes.
When your ceiling caved in because of a leak in her apartment.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Tell me how this happened.
Well, on June 23rd, which was my daughter's birthday, we were waiting to go out. I mean, I was waiting for her to come home to go out. And then I was hearing like
so much for that, right?
no birthday. So I was hearing like water, and I kept feeling the walls, and I'm looking up, feeling the walls, and I didn't see anything. And then, I kept hearing it coming more and more. So I went and rang Miss Williams' bell to see if anybody was home, to see if they were having a leak.
But you were actually seeing water drip?
No, I heard the water.
Oh.
I heard water.
Right.
And I was just feeling the walls just in case.
But everything looked pristine so far?
So far. So I rang their bell. Nobody was home. So I came back in, and it kept coming heavier and heavier. And I sat down, and I looked up, and I see water coming through my light fixture right over my bed. Dirty, mucky water coming in the light fixture. The fixture is like this.
So it's holding it.
Yes, it's
but
holding it.
We know that it has a finite amount of volume of water it can hold.
Exactly.
Okay.
I went to call the super, but he didn't answer. I left a message, and immediately I called the fire department because I figured light fixture.
Yeah, we don't know.
So they came in about 5 to 10 minutes. The super showed up after. And when I got back in the house after letting them in, part of the ceiling was coming down. So the firemen poked it, and they saw it coming down.
Right.
Because they poke it, and then
I know when they poke it, everything falls up on your
everything
bed.
was coming down.
Right.
In the whole,
with like a rush of water?
Yes.
With a rush of water.
And dirty water. And
Toilet water.
yeah. So they did that.
Do you have pictures?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry I asked.
I have more on my iPhone, but this is, sorry. If you need to see them, I have more, but that's just more of my mattress.
Here are the buckets, the pieces of ceiling. What is this a picture of? Oh, that's the hole. This is your ceiling and that's the hole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is your mattress. What kind of mattress was it? Nice one.
It's a Sealy. It's very comfortable. Beauty Rest.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's your mattress now?
That's
your mattress how many days later?
That's the mattress that same day.
Oh, the dirt from all of the residue once the water dried up, right? That's not, wow. All right, how do you find out something has gone terribly wrong in your apartment?
What happened was I was due to work at 7 o'clock. I went to work at 7 o'clock. I called my husband to see where he was. He was at a family member's house. I called my oldest daughter to see where she was. She had just got off the train at 34th Street, and my middle daughter was still at work until 10 o'clock.
Why are you giving me all these details?
Because I'm getting to the point, because no one was home.
Getting to the point, you promise?
No one was home.
No one was home. Okay, go ahead.
No one was home. No one was home.
What time did the firemen come?
They came at approximately about 8:30.
At night?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Right. I got a phone call at work around 8:30, and my neighbor next to me, she says, "Is someone home?" I said, "No." She said, "Because the fire department are here." Once she said fire department, I thought it was a fire.
Right.
She said the fire department is here and they're trying to go through the fire escape. So then I'm trying to call my husband, And my husband is not answering his phone.
Of course not.
And so I called my neighbor back. So I'm asking her, well, what's going on now? So she said, well, they're
breaking your door down.
Right.
Right.
She said they're going to break the door down. So finally, my husband calls me back. I said, look, you have to get home because the fire department are breaking the door down.
Right, I know. But then you come home and what do you see in your apartment?
So the toilet overflows. Is the tenant whose toilet overflowed automatically responsible?
Of course. I mean, it's their fault that everything's breaking, right?
You all agree with that?
No.
Huh?
No, you have no way of tracing who or where if they're all connected, so it's the landlord's responsibility.
Is the tenant ever responsible?
No, I'm a landlord, and I know the tenant's never responsible.
Tampons. I just wanted to say that. Going inside the courtroom.
So I left my job around 11:30.
Okay, now we'll get to the apartment.
Okay, when I get to my apartment, my whole door is
Off the hinges.
right.
Right.
And it was water all over the place. It
All over
came
your
from-
apartment.
Right. It came from the bathroom toilet, the toilet
Right.
in the bathroom. What happens is from time to time, the water will back up.
Have you
Just-
called your landlord about the
They
coming?
come and they'll snake it, the toilet and the tub, and it's fine. And then it happens again. It just happened last week again. So
What did the fire department, do you have the fire department's report?
Yes.
What did your landlord say about, because you guys are renters, right? These are not
Yes.
condos. What did
Sorry.
your landlord say about this?
My landlord said it was coming from their toilet
And?
right.
and that the toilet had backed up.
No, but I mean, did you ever say to your landlord, you got to pay for these damages?
Yes.
And what'd they
I
say?
asked them about that and they said they let the toilet overflowed.
Let the toilet overflow. That's usually a plumbing problem, right?
Right.
What did the landlord tell you? No, you got to go sue her?
Yes.
Right.
That it wasn't anything that they did.
Are you responsible for the plumbing in the
No.
building?
No.
Is she
No.
responsible for the plumbing in the
No.
building? Okay, there's things that someone could do. Okay, for example, if you have old plumbing and you're living in an old building and the landlord tells you do not flush whatever down there and you're still flushing whatever, then you created a problem. If you have a fight and you knock the toilet off the thing and you leave, then you've caused the problem.
Right.
You know, there are numerous things that you could do to cause a problem.
Right.
Okay, I need some evidence that she did something. Okay, because the single most common, most logical reason would be that there's a plumbing problem. And if there's a plumbing problem, you need to be suing the landlord. And the landlord's a liar when they tell you, oh, it's not us, you got to sue her. You know, no, you have to prove they did something. When there's an overflow like this, unless there's some evidence, and I'm looking at the fire report, and in the fire report, all it says is we broke in and we turned the water off. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean she did something. You know, if there's a problem with the toilet, then that's a landlord issue.
Well, the only thing I can say at that point is that after a week of this happened, because nobody ever came down to apologize or anything, after a week of this happened, Ms. Williams came down and said that her daughter had come in, went to the bathroom and left the house.
Okay, but that's,
sue-
don't you do that? Don't you do that? Don't
Yeah.
I do that? We
Well, that's
go
a-
into our homes, we use the bathroom and we leave.
Well,
What's the
that's only
negligence
thing,
there?
yeah, right.
Right? I don't know about you, but unless there's some reason to, I don't use the toilet and stand there and stare to see how it's doing afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, if you can prove that the landlord knew about a plumbing problem and neglected it and whatever else, then you can go against the landlord. But I'm not seeing anything that would mean negligence on the part of someone who rents up there. I just don't see it. My verdict in this case is for the defendant. I feel
Okay.
awful for you, but I just, I can't pin it on her.
Okay.
Well, I think not only the judge feels awful, everybody, nobody wants, that
Yeah,
must have been horrible.
I didn't expect that at all.
What, the result of the
The
case
result of
here?
the
Why,
case, yeah.
why not? You understand that it's
I understood
it's
her.
not the
I
tenant's
understood
fault.
her.
Well, what are you going to do next? She did suggest, the judge suggested you could go against the
I'll
landlord.
speak with the landlord and see. If not, I'm just out $930.
All right, and what's the situation now in the place? This is,
I mean, it's all fixed and I had to buy new furniture, so
you look up and worry about this happening again?
always.
Yeah, a little paranoia there. huh?
Always.
All right, hope it doesn't. All right.
Thanks.
All right, head right down there. All right, come on in here. Why didn't you step on it? Why didn't you ever at least go and apologize to her? She said she never heard from you.
No, because I was working. It was at 11:30 at night.
Don't you ever
Everything
see
was
her
fine.
around? Don't you ever see her
No,
around?
because I go to work at 7 in the evening and I get off at
You feel
7
bad
in the
about what
morning.
happened?
Yeah, I feel bad about what happened. And I wish I could help her.
All right. Harvey?
So here's the deal. And this is such a common thing. If you have a problem in your building, and it's a plumbing problem or whatnot, you gotta let the landlord know, and you gotta let him know in writing. Once the landlord is on notice and you can prove he's on notice, then he has a reasonable time to fix it. And if he doesn't, the landlord is squarely on the hook.